Happy Thursday, Facebook friends. Welcome back to Facebook. I'm Angie Garza, Director of Professional Learning and Educational Services at ROE 47, serving Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside counties. And if you're joining us here this fine Thursday on Facebook, you'll know that it's time for another edition of Teacher Talk. And today, as we move toward the end of October and into our full-fledged fall in November, we are very excited today to have two of our own on our Teacher Talk platform here on Facebook, talking all things family education and engagement, which is a very exciting, growing area in our office. And we are so pleased and proud to be able to provide those supports and services to our Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside County communities. So as we kick off this great edition of Teacher Talk here this morning, I am proud and pleased to welcome my friend, colleague, and co-host, Ms. Stacy Dingus, Digital Teaching and Learning Specialist for our office. Good morning, Stacy. We're talking all things families today, and I'm really excited to hear a little bit more from our ladies about what that looks like in our three counties.
Good morning, Angie. For those of you who have been following along our teacher talks the last few years, you'll notice a trend that we really have started kind of expanding past just teachers and students and the four walls of the classroom. Something that I'm really proud of at ROE 47 is we have realized that it really does take a village. It takes a whole lot of people to successfully get these students to school, to be learning, to have a positive, learning environment. And so I think that that's important something to think about today as we have this conversation and we talk about families. Obviously, the family structure and the family support is huge in the success of our students. And so it has to be part of that triangle kind of that helps get those kids through school and have a successful, happy life. So excited to welcome two coworkers, as you had mentioned today. I will let them do the introductions and we can get this one going.
Glad to be here. I'm Michelle Potoff, and I am currently a family education and engagement specialist at the ROE. I've been at the ROE for about 5 years now, and we work on all things family and community engagement and education.
Hi, my name is Grace Heimerdinger-Baki. I've been at the ROE. This is my second year, and I'm the family education and engagement specialist, and I bring a background of both family and youth development.
Michelle, let's start with you and have that conversation about family engagement. It is fairly maybe a new idea or thought, although it's obviously we know something that's always been there involving families and making them a part of the child's education and upbringing. But what has kind of changed within ROE 47 that we've really put family engagement on the forefront of our focus?
At our office, we're really working on building a sense of belonging in our community. We really want to strengthen our communities, and we want happy and healthy and well-connected communities. And it happens on so many levels. We're talking about parents and caregivers engaging with teachers and schools and districts, but also caregivers and teachers engaging with the children in their lives every day. And then, the adults in our community interacting and engaging as well. And so there's a lot of things that go into that. And I think it's just really so important, when we talk about the well-being of our community as a whole.
I think something else that we have found through conversations with our families, through focus groups and surveys, is that our families are feeling isolated. They want to find a place of belonging, as Michelle mentioned. They want to feel connected, and they want a village to help raise their children. An interesting thing that we found was our families are looking online for resources. They are then looking for friends and families. And something that was surprising is that of the 50 families that we interviewed in focus groups, none of our families selected reaching out to medical providers, and very few selected teachers or education. So it's finding a new way to reach our families and helping them raise their children.
So Grace, when you shared that information, I know for us here kind of sitting in our office, looking at the data and reflecting on what our family and caregiver needs are in the region, we really tried to recenter ourselves on this idea, even fundamentally, of what is family education and engagement. And I think that that is so often a buzzword in our educational communities. But I think really digging into that definition has really helped us to shape some of the resources and programming that the two of you have developed for our region. So can you talk to us a little bit about when we say authentic, true family education engagement, what does that mean in our work, and what does that mean for our communities and families?
I think when I think family engagement, I think of a space launch, right? We have this mission that we want to launch this rocket into space. And when we are at mission control to launch a rocket, we are sitting at mission control. And not only do we have our scientists, we have mathematicians, we have engineers, we have our physicians that take care of the astronauts. We have so many other people coming together to launch this rocket into space. So we take this metaphor and we apply it to family education and engagement. We can see that family engagement is an empowering partnership among families, educators, and community members, our doctors, our 4-H leaders, our Girl Scout leaders, the local banker, right? All of those people play a part in the success of our students.
Michelle, can you tell us a little bit about some of the programs or activities that are coming out of our office to address some of these concerns that our families have told us that they had to increase that idea of family engagement in our area?
So a big component of what we're doing to help in our community and our area, we have started a lending library of sorts. And there are social emotional learning topics that we are offering within that lending library. One big thing that we have coming out, we're calling them Mindful Trails, and that was developed in partnership with the University of Illinois Extension. When you talk about mindfulness, mindfulness is really a moment by moment awareness of your present, centering yourselves and your things like your thoughts and your feelings and your environment, and, really kind of centering, again, bringing yourself to that level of the present. And so what the Mindful Trails do is they take some mindful practices and divide them up into stops. And we have several sets at the office that you can check out or you can use. And we're offering those to schools, to teachers, to some community organizations as well. And it just offers a way for members of our community or your staff or your families to go from stop to stop and practice some of those mindfulness things. So that's one way that we can kind of one thing that we're offering out to the community. We are also building our social emotional learning topics. We have some really great storybooks, some really great things that we can offer. Some of those will be in the form of story walks, which is similar to the Mindful Trails, where it's divided up into stops. So you have a little bit of literacy learning, maybe some math topics. There's also some movement involved in that. They can be indoor or outdoor. And then, we have a lot of topics for social emotional learning. So that's, getting along with others or dealing with anger. And so there's a lot of really cool things that we have coming out with that as well.
We also have so many fun family events that are happening within our office. These family fun events include Build a Pet Clubhouse. Our first one is in November 4th. Blockfest events that are held quarterly throughout the Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside County, as well as we're excited as we are continuing to plan parent connection groups, support groups, whatever they may be, to help connect and have this sense of belonging, to share the joys and the struggles and challenges of parenthood, to learn about what others are finding successful, and know that parents are not alone on this journey of parenthood. Additionally, we have our family newsletter that started in May with 11 people. We reached out, it was sent to 11 people. And just this month, we sent it over to 90 different families. And we're so excited. This family newsletter is a great tool in providing parent education, but also connecting families to so many different family fun events that are happening that are not only in our office, but in other communities and organized by so many different organizations that just have this amazing vision to join us in helping and providing family engagement events.
As we kind of think about this idea of family education and engagement, we know, especially in the last few years with our COVID-19 pandemic and kind of coming out of that pandemic, that there are a lot of things that changed with our families' connections with their school community for a variety of reasons. And so our school communities, just as we have services and supports and activities available directly from our office to families and to our community members, we also offer a host of services for our school districts to reconnect and re-engage with the families that they serve. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that looks like as we kind of consider growing our schools' capacity to work with families and meet those diverse needs?
And that idea of engage and re-engage everybody is so important, I feel like. And we talked about some of the things that we offer, the lending library and the events that we have coming out of our office. In addition to those being available to the communities, those are available to schools and school personnel as well. We teachers are welcome to check out those things as well, whether that's for a classroom event or a school event. Grace and I can also offer PD for your teachers and your staff in terms of family engagement and what does that look like. And then, we can meet with your schools and your school improvement plans to include family engagement as part of your school improvement processes as well. We can come in and help you facilitate family events or family nights. We can, work with you on coming up with ideas for engaging your families and how to incorporate social emotional learning or other types of learning with your families and really just working toward that whole strong communities effort that we're looking for. So there's a lot of things that we can offer. Really, if you have any ideas or any questions, reach out to either Grace or I, and we'd love to get in and sit down with you and come up with some things to help.
Family events, story walks, newsletters. Oh my. I mean, there's just, every time I think about all of the resources and all of the things that you have been working on, it really just blows my mind as far as how far we've come in the last year in kind of broadening that horizon, as Stacy mentioned, to reach even beyond our teachers and our students in ROE 47 service area. So as I'm sitting here listening to this, and I'm a parent and I'm a community member, and I'm really excited about all these different opportunities and services and resources, how can I possibly get connected? Where do I go? Who do I contact? Who can I reach out to? So if you could share with our viewers here on Teacher Talk this morning a little bit about that, I'm certain that they will greatly appreciate that.
So we are on Facebook. If you find and search in Facebook, Regional Office of Education 47, you will find an amazing source of information to things that are happening within our schools, professional learning, but also our family events. That is a great place to learn about what is happening and what is upcoming. We are working on launching a community resource button on our website that you'll be able to just click on the front page, and that will link you to community resources in the area, educational materials that you or your families may need. Teachers, community members are welcome to access this as well. You can also just feel free to send us an email as well. Michelle Petoff and I love to see those emails and love to work with you in finding what we need to do to help you guys support your students and your families succeed.
This was a lot of great information here this morning on Teacher Talk. I want to go back for a moment to Grace's analogy about the rocket launch. I think that's, first of all, a super analogy because it does take a lot of people, all hands on deck, to launch that rocket into the atmosphere for success. Similarly, if we think about the first people who are on that launch pad, those are our caregivers and our parents. They are our children's first teachers, and they are our greatest partners in education. And so just want to take this opportunity to thank the two of you so much once again for all of your hard work and efforts when it comes to expanding our services and supports for family education and engagement here in Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside counties. Friends, if you would like more information about our supports and services, activities, as Grace mentioned, please remember to like and follow our Facebook page. Check out the narrative section of this post here on Facebook for more links and contact information, and continue to watch our website and social media accounts for more information and exciting news and opportunities on all things related to family education and engagement. That wraps us up here for another edition of Teacher Talk this fine Thursday. As we wrap up our Teacher Talk here this morning on Facebook, I'd like to say a very special thank you to our special guests, Michelle Putoff and Grace Heimerdinger-Baki, our family education and engagement specialists here at ROE 47. Also, would like to say a very special thank you to my friend, colleague, and co-host, Ms. Stacy Dingus. As always, it is a pleasure co-hosting Teacher Talk with you here every Thursday on Facebook. As we wrap up Teacher Talk, ladies and gentlemen, friends, family members, want to wish you a wonderful rest of your Thursday, an even better Friday, a relaxing fall-colored filled weekend, and we will see you right back here next Thursday for another edition of Teacher Talk.